Well, the Halos had a long flight home yesterday, but it was obviously victorious. They took 2 of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays, finishing off a 3-3 road trip. And tonight, it's the first of 3 against the division-leading Texas Rangers. Hi, everyone. From inside the Big A, I'm Victor Rojas and Mark Gubicek. Glad you could join us here for Angels baseball. And, of course, when these two teams have matched up this year, the matchup has been very close. A lot of one-run ball games, but one thing is for certain is we're going to see a very good pitching matchup today.
Well, we definitely will be able to see that great young left-hander against Jared Weaver, but the reality is all these games against the Rangers have been extremely close, one-run games. It's going to come down to who makes the right pitch. 5-5 both clubs are in the last 10 games. The difference, this one home run for the Rangers, the club no more for the power than the Angels, and of course the Angels have scored more runs. It's been that even of a series. Hopefully the situation here where the Angels can win this game tonight and win the series, and of course not allow them to be able to win this series here, and of course win the division here against the Angels.
Well, I mentioned a good pitching matchup. As a matter of fact, the Angels are sending out their top 3 in the rotation against the Texas Rangers. Tonight, it's the ace. Jared Weaver's towing the slab. This guy has been absolutely phenomenal here at the Big End. He's had good numbers against Texas.
Well, great numbers at home in general. 5-3 with an ERA, 1.56 at home this season. 2-0 against the Rangers. He is not allowed an earned run. 1 unearned run to 14 innings pitched. Look from the change speed. He pitched inside extremely well against these guys in these 2 starts at the Big A. Fastball in, slow curveball to keep him off balance, and use that changeup against these powerful hitters. He should be successful once again.
Now you got the veteran Jared Weaver going for the Angels, the youngster left-hander Derek Holland going for the Texas Rangers, and Holland will be facing a lineup that obviously starting to hit the ball with some pop over the weekend against the Tampa Bay Rays. We're ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We've got the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball. Nobody beats Howard's. By the fastest growing car company in America, Hyundai. And by Shakey's Pizza. Who has the most leadoff home runs in baseball history? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. Well, that's a beautiful shot at the beach. We've got perfect weather here at the Big A. Beautiful night for baseball. The Halos have taken the field, and as always, this Angels telecast is brought to you in life-affirming high definition, courtesy of Time Warner Cable. That's right, life.
Wow, that's pretty good then.
Well, it is very good. Texas Rangers leading the American League West with an 83-65 record. They got a 9-game lead over the Oakland Athletics. They will run out this lineup courtesy of Ron Washington. Game number 149. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Michael Young at third base. David Murphy is in left field. Vladimir Guerrero, the cleanup man, the DH. Nelson Cruz in right. Ian Kinsler at second base. Mitch Moreland over at first. Matt Trainor's doing the catching with the center fielder and batting ninth being Julio Borbo. That starting nine taking on Jared Weaver. Overall, you look at the wins and losses, not pretty. The rest of the numbers, very pretty.
Fifth best ERA in the American League, 2.96. 218 punch-outs. Second only King Felix at 222. Good opportunity to be able to pass him by tonight. Of course, won his last time out against the Cleveland Indians, which he was completely dominant. Made a transition during the course of that game. Went from fastballs early on to using that slow curve on his changeup. Was outstanding with great arm action on it.
Well, defensively behind Jared Weaver this evening, we've got Bobby Abreu in left, Peter Borges in center, Torrey Hunter in right field. In the infield, it's Callaspo and Wood on the left side, Kendrick and Napoli on the right. Jeff Mathis getting to start behind the dish.
And the Rangers getting their first look at Peter Borges out in center field, covering a lot of ground with Jared Weaver on the hill. Lots of strikeouts, lots of fly balls, so he's going to be pretty active in center field tonight, covering left center and right center field.
Borges coming off that 1-for-4 performance yesterday afternoon in Tampa, in which he picked up his fourth home run, a 3-run home run that put the Angels up for good. Ready for baseball. It's Elvis Andrus leads things off. Andrus hitting .271. No home runs, 35 runs batted in. This being a 10-game road trip for Texas. They dropped 2 of 3. The Seattle Mariners in town for 3 here. Then they go up to Oakland. 1-0 pitch. Andrus fouls it back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Elvis has been steady at the top of the order for Texas this year. Seen a little bit of a dip here of late for him. 1 for 13 on this trip. A .211 batting average over his last 17 games. 1-1. Lined over towards second. Nice play on the one-hop to Howie Kendrick. Here's out number 1.
I'll tell you what, Howie Kendrick's played some outstanding second base this season. Yes, he's hit well, and the RBI total, the extra base hits, but his defense has been outstanding. Over the glove side, backhanded, got himself in good position to throw out the speedy Andrus going down the line to keep him off the bases. The importance for Jared Weaver and the Angels to be able to win this game.
Leadoff man is retired as Michael Young steps to the plate now. Young takes that fastball for a strike. Weaver with a 204 innings, having allowed 164 hits on the year. Left-handers hitting .210, right-handers .220. But it's the right-handers that have touched him for the home run. Young takes a breaking ball for a strike. We'll take a look at the Hyundai key to the game.
Well, obviously we talked about how great Jared has been at home, and in particular against this Texas Ranger club. He's at home facing the club he has to beat. Got a chance to go 3-0. You like that one? Home of the Rangers.
No doubt. Here's the 0-2. Little fly ball to shallow center field. Here comes Peter Borges. Howie Kendrick going out. It's Howie making another terrific play.
Okay, we'll say it again. He's playing some outstanding defense at second base. Great read on that pop-up. Well, it looked like he had a chance of falling in for sure in front of Peter Borges, who had a pretty good jump himself. Good first step. But Howie going back and making a great play.
Almost had to take out Mike DeMuro, the second base umpire.
He's that quick and strong.
Get out the way.
You got to get out of the way.
There's David Murphy with 2 outs, nobody on. Weaver misses down low. Talking about the home runs that Weaver has given up this year. 21 all total, but 15 to right-handers, 6 to left-handers.
interesting you bring that up because early in his career as an Angel, it's the left-handers that had better success against Jared. But I think it's the slow curveball and the ability to throw that two-seam fastball or no-seam fastball inside the lefties that made him more effective against them.
Murphy reaching for this one. Howie can't get this one. A little bit further away from him. It's a 2-out base hit for Murphy. The man on for Vladimir Guerrero.
Well, I'm going to take it back there. Howie, he's got to make every single play tonight, don't you think?
Never thought of you as an Indian giver. Seriously. Taking it back.
No way. There's 2 plays he made already in this inning. If anybody was going to make that play, Howie was.
No doubt about it. Man on for Vladimir Guerrero, the DH. On the year, 304 average, 27 home runs, 107 runs batted in. A resurgent 2010 season for Vladdy. Playing 100 games last year for the Halos due to injuries. Swings the first pitch. It's a towering shot to left. Bobby Abreu at the wall. Makes a left turn and makes the catch for the 3rd out. Along the way, some precipitation starting to fall courtesy of that fly ball. Howie Kendrick, a couple of fine plays. 1/2 inning in the books. No score. This evening, the Halos having taken 2 of 3 from Tampa Bay, coming to this 3 games under 500 at 73 and 76. Howie Kendrick back in the leadoff spot. He's at second. Bobby Abreu at left. Torrey Hunter in right field. Mike Napoli at first. Juan Rivera at DH with Alberto Callaspa playing third. Brandon Wood at shortstop. Jeff Mathis doing the catching. Peter Porges batting ninth, playing center field. Taking on the 23-year-old left-hander by the name of Derek Holland, who delivers a first pitch strike here on Howie Kendrick.
Well, he's a guy that, his numbers so far this season, because he was down in AAA for a while, 3-3 market ERA, 4.12. Very good fastball. He saw there at 95. 91-95 from the left side. Very difficult when he elevates the fastball. He's got a good curveball, slider, and a changeup. Nolan Ryan extremely high on this kid. And at one point, they were talking about getting Roy Halladay last year with Toronto, from Toronto, but they wanted him, and they were reluctant to give him up.
The 0-2 to Howie. He gets him swinging, and there's out number 1. Strikeout for Derek Holland defensively for Texas. He's got David Murphy left, Julio Borbon in center field. Nelson Cruz is in right. Michael Young and Elvis Andrus on the left side of the infield, while Ian Kinsler and Mitch Moreland patrol the right side with Matt Traynor, the veteran, behind the plate.
I think you look for reasons why Texas has played so well, and I think the biggest reason is their defense, particularly up the middle, with Elvis Andrus' his ability to cover a lot of ground, very acrobatic at shortstop. Will make an occasional error, just not concentrating enough, but he's a guy that can control a game defensively.
There's Bobby Abreu hitting .255, 20 home runs, 75 runs batted in. He's also chipped in 38 doubles and a triple. Takes a strike from Holland. Bobby had the multi-homer game yesterday at Tampa, going 2 for 5. This one. Rolled over to second. Kinsler's got it. Abreu's retired for the second out. Two very quick outs here for Derek Holland on 4 pitches, all 4 for strikes. But nobody on base. Torrey Hunter will step to the plate. Torrey had a multi-hit game yesterday, 2 for 5 with a couple of singles and a run scored. See the average of 287. Takes a fastball just outside for ball 1.
Well, Torrey with some pretty good numbers career-wise against the Rangers. .299 with 17 big flies.
That one's in at the knees to even the count at 1-1. Third stint for Holland this year with Texas. Mentioned the career numbers overall against the Halos, 3-2 and a 5.23 ERA, but here at the Big A, very good. As he gets ahead of Torrey, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good numbers down at AAA. He was down there this year, 6-2 and a 187. Certainly has shown the ability to pitch in the big leagues, and he's done it both from the bullpen and the rotation side of things.
I like his ability when he elevates the fastball. Not many left-handed pitchers can go up in the strike zone like him and be that effective when he can throw that up there at 95 miles an hour.
The 1-2. Torrey fouls it off to the right. That'll leave it a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers got off to just an okay start this year. 11-12 in the month of April, 15-12 in May. And then they hit June.
Pretty good month.
They were unbelievable in June. A 21-6 record. As Torrey lines one right to short, that will end the inning. The Halos go down in order. 1 complete here at the Big A. We are scoreless. As we hit the second inning, top home ERA in 1 year in Angels history. Nolan Ryan, 1.07, tied with Dean Chance, Chuck Finley, and Frank Tanana. Jared right now at 155 so far this year.
I mean, it's a good pitcher's yard, but I wouldn't say this is safe go field either. That's the impressive thing about Jared in that 1.55 ERA.
Nelson Cruz ahead of the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jarrett pitched very well here. Although just 5 wins at home, 5-3 with that 156 ERA or 155 ERA after the top of the first inning. Out on the road, 7-8 and a 4.24 earned run average. Cruz fouls this one off to the right. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the impressive thing when you look at Jared is the fact that that 2-0, 91-mile-an-hour fastball Nelson Cruz was late on, and then the 92-mile-an-hour fastball late on again. It's his ability to be able to throw all those pitches for strikes keeps the hitter guessing, and they're late on fastballs that generally you're not going to be late on.
This one rolled over to Callasco at third base. That better throw, and there's out number 1. Be sure to visit farmers.com today to hear more true stories from Farmers customers. You can find a SoCal agent near you.
And again, an all-speed pitch gets him out in front on. Most pitchers, when you're throwing, we saw Tomlin in, say, Cleveland. Pretty good fastball, 91-92. When he got that over the plate, it was hit pretty hard. But Jared has that ability because he throws that slow curveball, his changeup, his slider, his cut fastball, and his no-seam fastball. The hitter never knows exactly what pitch is coming, so they're late on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
And Kessler takes a strike. And it is of absolutely no surprise as we are now 2 weeks before the end of the season. Angels have not been eliminated, but the odds are stacked against the Halos in making the postseason.
Yeah.
That people would start to ask Jared Weaver as to what his contract status is going to be. Got arbitration eligible? Does he want to sign a long-term deal? Is his agent going to be pushing that in the offseason? Tony Regan said that probably right now it's not at the top of our list, but it makes sense. The year that he is having has stepped up as the ace of the staff. The numbers obviously bear that out, that he would have to answer those questions, and he answered them very forthright.
Yeah, he just basically said, you know what, I'm not worried about that at this point. I'd love to stay here. I'm not going to look for the biggest contract out there, but I want to be paid fairly. And it's understandable. But for me, Jared is a guy that, you know, I think they're going to take a look at during the offseason. Once they get everything else in order, then you keep Jared around for a long period of time. He's a native of the Los Angeles area. He's a guy that's relished in this role. I mean, originally he would say, no, I'm not a number 1 guy. Right. John Lackey was. He's moved on. I'll take that, you know, if Mike Scioscia wants me to be the guy, I'll be the guy opening day. But he's certainly been a dominant number 1 type pitcher who is still young.
In a battle here with Ian Kinsler, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So for me, it's they should consider it, and I'm sure they will. And Jerry will certainly be a guy that will listen to it. He's going to work hard again. He worked extremely hard this offseason, make sure he was going to be strong enough to give you that 200-plus innings. And that's what a true starter for me is, a guy that's going to be paid high. He's got to be over that 200-inning plateau each and every year, and Jared's right at that position right now.
Well, with 12 victories, 8 no decisions. And a couple of games that got hung L's on. And he departed with a lead. As this one's out to our shallow left. Bobby Abreu calls off Brandon Wood, and we have 2 outs here in the second.
Well, we've counted about 5 games in which he had a lead, in which he pitched late in the game, was in line for a W. He could have 17 wins. At the very least, you figure, okay, 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, when you pitch that deep in a game with a lead, you're going to have that in the bank. So you look at Jared as at least a 17-game winner this year.
Two outs here in the second with no score. Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, coming up. 256 average, 5 home runs, and 18 runs batted in. Lays off that high fastball. That's 1 ball, no strikes. I think it's because of that, when you start looking at those numbers, where I think you're starting to see a growing sentiment. We talked about it when we were up in Seattle, about Felix Hernandez and the Cy Young, Kent Harrison, Buck Holtz, David Price, CC Sabathia, how dominant he has been. And basically, a lot of low-scoring games.
And your mindset is, wow, if I give up a run or two, I got a pretty good chance of getting lost here. So that added stress on you, the fact that you're facing the number 1 guy seems to be every single game. The numbers he's put up, and King Felix up in Seattle, for me, are just as impressive as any other pitcher in the American League.
2-1. Breaking ball is in there. 2-2.
And the ability to throw a slow curveball 2-1 is the reason why he's so effective.
Moreland chases the off-speed pitch. He'll go down swinging. Jared has himself a 1-2-3 inning, including his first strikeout of the night. We head to the bottom of the second. Scoreless here at the Big A. The top of the inning, this is how he did it.
Well, Howard's Expo to show where the exact break on this curveball is. It starts around belt high on Moreland, then ends up in the dirt. And the speed of that pitch, it's 70 miles an hour. Big reason why Jared is at that list as far as the punch outs at 219. King Felix throws 97, 98. But Jared has 5 great pitchers.
Napoli swinging first pitch against Holland, picks up a base knock. First base runner of the game for the Angels. Holland had a 1-2-3 inning in the first, including a strikeout of Howie Kendrick. So leadoff man on board for Juan Rivera.
Fastball elevated. Now to get the top hand through and punch it in for a base hit.
By the way, at the start of the day, Felix Hernandez had 29, almost 30 more innings than Jared Weaver.
So when you talk about strikeouts per 9 innings, Weave with the lead.
Rivera takes a fastball for a strike. Juan went 0 for 4 yesterday, getting to start at first base. The night before, 2 for 3, including a 3-run home run, his first home run since the end of July. 13th of the year, now with 50 RBIs. Shoots this one down the right field line, but foul. And it snowballs 2 strikes.
What we've seen lately out of Juan Rivera, a conscious effort to hit the ball the other way or up the middle, which allows him to be able to get that pitch on the outer half, and then you bring the pitcher inside, and that's where he's going to generate most of his power on the inner half. But if you consistently miss pitches, whether it be fastballs or off-speed pitches outside, they're going to live out there all game.
A little slow roller up the third base side. Michael Young's got it. Bears retired for the out. And Napoli advances to second base. Man in scoring position with 1 out, and here comes Alberto Callaspo.
Well, Young playing back comes in pretty good on that slow roller. Fields it still on the run. Strong throw. Former shortstop, former second baseman. Making a good adjustment to third base for the Rangers.
Error totals are high. But when you've got a guy like Elvis Andrus waiting in the wings, ready to make the start at the shortstop position at such a young age as he did last year in his rookie campaign, veterans tend to move. Caspo takes a curveball in for a strike.
Yeah, we saw that in New York with A-Rod. He won a Gold Glove as a shortstop. Early in his career was moved over to third base. So you see some guys that make that transition from shortstop to third. A little different reaction to the baseball. It gets there at a quicker, different route. You have to come in on slow rollers as compared from short to third. And you see some errors to go up there for Michael Young.
Caspo grounds one over to short. Andrus has got it. Soto's retired for the second out. A couple of ground ball outs. And while Napoli has advanced over to third, there are 2 outs now. And it's up to Brandon Wood. Caspo's struggles continue offensively. Here's Brandon, 157 average, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Brandon 2 for 11 in that series against the Rays with a double, a home run, and an RBI. Game winner on Friday. Shoots this one back up the middle. That's into center field. A base hit. Napoli scores, and the Angels have a 1-0 lead.
Brandon getting some consistent at-bats with Eric Ibar. Probably done for the season. Seeing the ball well. Doing some nice things with it. That big home run down there in Tampa. A double off the wall. And this is a good approach right back up the middle. And a fastball down. Gets an RBI base hit.
It's like a tee shot on the green.
Well, you know he loves to play golf.
Well, you know what? We found that out, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It's that inside information we get.
Jeff Mathis at the play with 2 outs. Swings the first pitch and fouls one back. And this one reaches seats.
Trying to catch that baseball with a jacket. Maybe not work all the time. Maybe your hands would help. See that thing trying to make it with the jacket catch.
Tom Amansky would not approve of that. Nor would Fred McGriff with the trucker hat.
Well,
here's the 0-1. Mathis lays off that one. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Some great hats.
Yes.
Somewhat of a slimming effect on the Crime Dog. 1-1. Mathis pops it up on the infield. Moreland on the grass has the call. That will end the inning. The Angels strike first. They get a run on 2 hits. They leave a man on. 2 complete. Brandon Wood picking up his 14th RBI. The Angels on top 1-0. Jared Weaver with a strikeout, no walks, 1 hit allowed. That was a first inning base hit to David Murphy. They'll face 8, 9, and 1 here. Trainer, Bourbon, and Andrus.
Remember, Trainer got hurt when we were down there. Was it end of July or early August? Hurt his leg.
He stumbled over the bag at first, right?
Exactly, running down the first base. Well, nice job for him. The batting average, obviously, 217, but what he's done defensively for the Rangers has been outstanding.
I do really worry about the offense from this position when you've got a lineup, when healthy, and at full speed. With Hamilton, Guerrero, Cruz, Kinsler, Young. Do you really care if your catcher hits 200?
I dislike when people question offensive numbers from a catcher because his main job is calling pitches, having a comfortable rapport with the pitching staff, whether it's the starters or guys down in the bullpen, and the ability to throw out a would-be base stealer. That's it. Any numbers you get him offensively, I know with people like Johnny Bench and Pudge Rodriguez and Carlton Fisk, people like that, and Mike Piazza, has changed what the offensive numbers are supposed to be. I mean, they have been out of catchers, and of course Yogi Berra was another one who was a great numbers offensively, but the reality is a good defensive catcher is the most important thing.
Benji Molina acquired from the San Francisco Giants in exchange for reliever Chris Ray and former first-round pick Michael Maine. This one, diving stop by Kayasla, gets up, fires to first. That's what we've been talking about throughout that last road trip, with Kayasla having scuffled badly offensively in the month of September. The defense certainly has not lapsed at all.
Boy, on the backhand side and the forehand side, been showing some great range and ability to get up and make a strong throw to first base, too. That's not an easy play, getting up right on the money at first base to get that lead hitter. Kayasla, great range.
It's our One West Bank, one person, one play, brought to you by One West Bank, one person at a time. So 1 out, nobody on for Julio Bourbon. Looks at a fastball outside for ball 1. Bourbon hitting .269, 3 home runs, and 36 runs batted in. It goes without saying, Jared Saltalamacchia was the opening day starter for Texas. Had the game-winning hit. And then the injuries popped up, and I think the Rangers finally said enough is enough. Got sent down to the minor leagues. Eventually traded to the Boston Red Sox, going with a couple of veterans and Trainer and Molina. 1-1. Bourbon pulls this one over to Howie. He's got it. Nice.
And again, we talk about the need for a guy that calls a good game, the comfort zone for your staff. But if you're going to win games, the important games, you're going to have a solid defense up the middle. And they certainly have that with Andrus now in the catching position, and Bourbon in the center field, or Hamilton when he's healthy to play center field. They have that ability, and Benji Molina's in that equation also. These guys call a good game and are quick with their release as far as against would-be base stealers.
Andrus takes outside for ball 1. Elvis 0 for 1. Hit a one-hopper that was played nicely to the backhand by Howie Kendrick in the first inning. Robbed of a base hit. Howie's made a couple of nice plays today. He's had breaking pitches in there. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. This one out towards shallow center. Borges is playing shallow, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the second consecutive inning for Weaver. As we head to the bottom of the third, still on top, 1-0.
7 straight fastballs by Peter Borges. But he was quick as lightning on that inside pitch. Drove it out for the best play in baseball. The 3-run Jimmy Jack. That was our Coors Light Polar Blast.
That was the at-bat that lasted 4 minutes and 49 seconds.
To be exact.
Yeah. Not that we were keeping track.
No, not at all.
No. 9-1-2 due up for the Angels here, up 1-0 in the third. Borges, Kendrick, and a break. Peter takes a strike, and it's 0-2. She finally gave up. We weren't waving back, and she finally just said, I'm done. 0-2. That's pulled foul.
I think she was excited to check to see if Peter Borges can go hit one out again.
You think so?
Yep.
195 average, 4 home runs, and 12 RBIs. 5 doubles, 3 triples. Fouls this one back over the screen. Still an 0-2 count. This one back up the middle. Kinsler giving his best. Can't get it. That's a base hit. Off the end of the bat. I think even if Kinsler comes up with it, just going to flip it back to Holland with Peter's speed. Second consecutive inning in which the leadoff man is on board with a knock. And here comes Howie Kendrick.
On Exmo show fastball, outer half. Did a nice job as far as going back up the middle with that pitch. That's the one pitch he's been susceptible of swinging and missing in the outer half. Good approach there for Peter Borges. And once that ball got by the pitching mound, no chance to throw him out.
Breaking ball is in for a strike. Now we 0 for 1. The only strikeout that Holland has picked up in this one. The young lefty had come in with 44 strikeouts and 43 in the third big league innings this year. The off-speed pitch is downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. As we showed you early on, this was a kid that was a 25th round pick in 2006 for Texas. And more times than not, granted he's a left-hander. You look at guys at the back end of the draft, you said, all right, well, hopefully he develops into something. Kendrick takes some shot. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Had a pretty solid 07 season, but then in 2008, 2 stops at A-ball and a stop at AA. Ended up going 13-1 in a 2.27 ERA. It was the Rangers minor league pitcher of the year. All of a sudden burst onto the scene. He was in the big leagues last year. Throw over, and this one off the glove of Moreland. Borges not going anywhere.
Oh, if you could throw 95 miles an hour from the left side and you have a good assortment of secondary pitches, you have some very good upside.
And it's very easy.
Yeah,
it's fluid. It's very easy.
There's not a lot of effort behind it. He doesn't have to force it to be able to throw 95 miles an hour.
2-1, line into center field. It's going to hang up for ball. There's out number 1. So Borges stays over at first base, and Bobby Abreu comes up. Speaking of Bobby, we'll take a look at our U.S. Marines leaders of the game. 9 seasons with 20 or more home runs and 20 steals or more. Only players with more, Bobby and Barry Bonds, 10.
Pretty impressive. Listen, that ball he hit yesterday in Tampa at the Trop.
Did we ever get an estimate on that?
It knocked the scoreboard out, changed colors on the scoreboard.
So they just don't provide estimates
for
home run balls that change the scoreboard?
Yeah. So it's too far, especially when the opponent hits it.
Doesn't register. That ball was crushed.
He might have had some distance left, too, when he hit that back wall.
Bobby takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. He grounded out to second base in the first inning, so 0 for 1. Figured that Borges be looking for an opportunity here to make an attempt to head to second base.
Holland with 2 pickoff moves and 2 different types. He has 2 pickoffs on the season.
Bobby rolls this one to the right side. Kinsler's got it. Looks at second, but we'll take the out at first. 2 outs. Time now for our Alexis pursuing perfection. Talking about yesterday on that home run. That was the first one off Jeff Neener. Second one off Jeremy Hellickson.
Yeah, that has some serious distance and sound. The St. Anthony sign. About an inning later, that blue sign became a white sign.
'19th and 20th home runs of the year. 2 outs here to third. Halos up 1-0. Torrey Hunter. Borges takes off for third base, picks up his 6th stolen base.
And that stolen base is certainly not against Matt Trainer. He had no chance. Borges with a great jump. And that spot right there with 2 outs, you have to make sure as a base stealer you're going to be successful. And with a jump like that, they had no chance of throwing him out.
Torrey takes a strike. Count even at 1-1. Torrey squared one up in the first inning, lined down to Elvis Andrus, who's 0 for 1. Halos getting a run in the second. A 2-out base hit by Brandon Wood, scoring Mike Napoli. As it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. This is the first of a 9-game homestand here for the Angels. 3 against Texas, 3 against the Chicago White Sox starting on Friday night, and 3 against the Oakland Athletics. The final 4 of the season in Texas. The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Trainer couldn't find for just a moment.
Seems like Holland's going to make him hit a pitcher's pitch, even if behind in the count he has an open base. Although Mike Napoli, who got a base hit against him his first at bat, is on deck. He's not going to give in to Torrey. Try a fastball outside. See if he can get him to chase it.
Missed, and it's ball 4. I thought that was a pretty good pitch.
I guess what it came down to was mislocation for where the catcher would set up. That looked like it got right down the middle of the plate. And it was right down the middle of the plate at 94.
I can understand why Derek Holland was smiling. He thought he had a strike or at least a full count in that situation. Jim Reynolds calling the balls and strikes this evening. Bill Welke at first, Mike DeMuro at second, Tim Welke at first base. We got the brothers Welke. First and third, 2 outs for Napoli, who had a base hit. Very first pitch he saw. Lays off the breaking ball. Nope, he went around. Delayed call there. It's no balls and a strike. Napoli's asking if that was a strike, but with Reynolds pointing to Napoli, usually the universal sign for you went too far. Nice block by Trainer. Evens the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Napoli was in the starting lineup yesterday, but was scratched. Very late scratch due to tightness in his right elbow. And Conger got the start instead behind the plate. Ended up going 1 for 3. Mike Maddox. Come out, pay a visit here. Like a very highly respected pitching coach with a young man like Derek Holland on the mound. Mike takes his time usually when he is discussing his genius.
Yeah, the umpire is required to come out and get him off the mound a number of times.
Yes.
But unusual to run out there on a 1-1 count unless he saw something mechanically wrong. He walks Torrey Hunter on a very questionable pitch, but it's 1-1.
Missed inside, 2 balls and a strike. I guess it's opportunities like these where, like you said, maybe saw something. Situational pitching, if you will, first and third. A 1-1 count with a guy who's very aggressive at the plate. Maybe whether it's mechanics or actually the approach that he and trainer were taking.
You get a great view from where he's at to see if that front shoulder's opening up early, which is an early indication for a pitcher that's flying open. It means it's going to be difficult to throw a strike. You can see how he's staring down to make sure he's staying balanced over the pitch rubber, even out of the stretched position. With 2 outs, you don't worry about base runners. You're just trying to get the hitter. So, but if you're flying open, trying to be too quick, that's not the proper approach.
Yep. He's fallen behind here on Napoli 3-1 after walking Hunter. Breaking ball is in there. A good enough breaking ball to fool Napoli. Right-handed back. So full count with 2 outs. That means Torrey will be off at the pitch at first base. Juan Rivera is the man on deck. Moreland is going to play behind Torrey. That's why he came in, just to let Holland know. Borges over at third. Torrey takes off at 3-2, almost gets Napoli. That's a walk. Back-to-back walks here. Loads things up with 2 outs in the third.
That's the one drawback about going out there on a 1-1 count. Now you can't go back out and visit him because then you have to take him out of the game in case he goes 1-0, 2-0 here to Juan Rivera to try to calm down your youngster.
Juan Rivera grounded out to third base in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. An opportunity here. The base is loaded. Borges at third, Hunter at second, and Napoli at first. Tack on to the 1-0 lead as we play here in the third. Outfield pretty much straight up, although Bourbon a couple of steps towards right center. Rivera fouls it off to the right, chasing a pitch up and out of the strike zone for ball 1.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a hitter in that spot, you're in command. Pitcher has to throw you a strike first pitch. You don't want to expand your strike zone against him. And Juan did, swinging the pitch out of the zone.
Back-to-back walks. There is absolutely no reason. Now, I know we talk about the aggressiveness that Mike Scioscia likes to give his hitters, but you can't be afraid to hit down 0-1 with a guy who's right now struggling to find that right release point. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, you just walk 2 guys. Even if you throw a first pitch strike, doesn't mean you're going to come back and throw another strike after that because you're basically trying to get a feel for the mound right now. If you're a young pitcher like this, and Barrett Holland has great upside, but when you're trying to feel your way around the mound as far as throwing strikes and you're out of the zone, you're doing him a favor by swinging that first pitch out of the strike zone.
Holland's thrown 24 pitches so far. That was inside the 25th. It's 2 balls and a strike. Well, you thought the one breaking pitch that he did throw to Napoli to take the count from 3-1 to full. It's usually that one pitch that kind of gets you going because it slows you down mechanically. Hasn't been able to get it back over there.
Well, he's trying to force that breaking pitch right now to try to aim it. You cannot do that. You got to be on top of that pitch and snap with the wrist to throw a strike with that pitch.
And it's 3-1.
Then he threw a changeup 2-1. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
So guys stretching in the Rangers bullpen out and left. The 3-1. Rivera pulls a foul. So we'll get the merry-go-round going here with a full count, 2 outs. Runners going on the pitch. Borges, Hunter, and Napoli from third to first.
Well, this is the time you have to take advantage of a struggling pitcher. If you're Juan Rivera and the Angels, you got to score some runs this inning.
Runners going to 3-2. Rivera, monster blast at the straightaway center field. This one's got a chance, and Bourbon makes a terrific catch. Wow, what a play by Julio Bourbon, the center fielder for Texas. Robbing Juan Rivera of a grand slam and a 5-0 lead. Instead, it's the third out. And the Halos leave them loaded. They're still up 1-0. Gold Glover. Boy, off the bat, it looked like it was gone. Bourbon was just kind of drifting back there, but he was timing it and did it perfectly.
Oh, he did it absolutely perfectly. Just from this angle where we're looking at that ball, it looked like there's no chance. We're like, why even making the effort to go back? But he was timing it, leaps up, and makes a great play. Saves 4 runs.
The 1-0 Angels late here in the 4th inning. Michael Young takes a curveball for a strike. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Texas. Young, Murphy, and Guerrero.
I think Gary Pettis told him I did that a few times at this stadium. he made some of the most unbelievable plays in center field.
And still looks like he can.
Well, he went over the wall one time here when the stadium was set, where it was a football stadium at that point, well over the wall, and caught it on the way down behind the fence.
Young lays off that 0-2 curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he just calmly went back and made that play. I mean, that ball was crushed by Juan Rivera.
He tracked it the whole way, robbing Rivera his 14th home run as Young swings and misses there. Mathis has got it. Their strikeout number 2 on the night. First out here in the 4th as we take a look at our AT&T trivia question for this evening. Tonight we ask, who were the first 3 managers in Texas Rangers history? I will recuse myself.
Inside information?
Yeah.
Whitey Herzog was in there, I think, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Here's David Murphy with 1 out.
Oh, was Ted Williams in there too?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to go with those 2 guys. I don't know the third one.
Murphy 1 for 1 at a base hit. This one's pulled and it's past the first baseman Napoli, heading into the corner. Murphy's got pretty good speed. Torrey picks it up and fires it in. He's got himself a double. Out in front of that off-speed pitch, just kept it fair. His 25th double. The man on with 1 out here in the 4th.
Well, the amazing thing coming in this game, David Murphy just 1 for 21 against Jarrett, but a base hit now and a double. 2 for 2 tonight. He's now 3 for 23 in his career against Jarrett.
So Vladimir Guerrero steps in now, 0 for 1. He saw 1 pitch in the first inning, hit a towering shot to the wall in left where Bobby Abreu caught it. That ended the first inning. Breaking pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Texas has been without Josh Hamilton due to a rib cage injury for some time now. Josh has put up some MVP-like numbers, but still unable to function on an everyday basis here. Actually came out a couple of days ago, tried to take batting practice, took about 20 to 25 swings, then shut it down when he felt the pain. 0-1 pitch fouled back, and it's 0-2. And you've got to start wondering. You hate to do this because in my mind, I think he's head and shoulders the MVP. But if he doesn't come back toward the end of this week, which doesn't seem likely, or even next week as these guys start to roll into the postseason, are folks going to vote?
Hurt.
I mean, you're missing 4 weeks plus. That one's upstairs, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it's definitely going to be the case where voters are going to shy away from that. If he's not there for the whole full season, then you throw in Robinson, Cano, Paul Konerko, Miguel Cabrera. As again, have had tremendous numbers. But Hamilton clearly, for me, is the MVP, but he's got to play towards the end here and continue to put up the numbers.
This one off the plate. And all you can hope for is that it goes foul. And, I mean, what can you do? That was almost on top of the plate.
Vlad hits more bad pitches than anybody I've ever seen. Pitches, and I mean a good pitch by a pitcher, but a pitch in the dirt. I mean, if you get somebody to swing at that pitch 9 out of 10 times, or even a better percentage, they're going to swing and miss. Vlad is phenomenal as far as hitting bad pitches in the dirt or elevated above the letters.
Runners at first and third here with 1 out. Nelson Cruz at the plate. Cruz grounded out to Kayasma to second, so he's 0 for 1. Hamilton has not played in now 12 straight since September the 4th. As Cruz pulls this one into left field, a base hit. Sounded like he broke his bat. This game was tied at 1. RBI single for Cruz. He picks up his 74th RBI.
Boy, basically a flare down the right field line on a changeup, then a chopper off the plate, then a broken bat base hit. Next thing you know, Texas is tied. And just a few seconds ago, it could have been 4-1 or 5-1 on that grand slam, would-be grand slam by Juan Rivera. Good breaking pitch off the end of the bat, but just found the hole for a base hit. Mr. Cruz have a solid season, 74 RBIs.
Extend his hitting streak to 12 games. There's Ian Kinsler with 1 out, first and second. Kinsler to fly ball to left in the second inning. Hamilton bruised his left rib for the collision at Target Field in Minnesota. That's why he's missed so much time. But what a year he's had. This one fouled off to the right. It's no balls, 2 strikes. You only bring it up because there are, unfortunately, guys that actually get the vote, especially some on the East Coast, that will more than likely use that as an argument to vote for somebody else.
Especially wearing a Yankee uniform, like Robinson Cano.
Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton, the leader in average at 361. He's 4th in home runs with 31. Not quite to 100 runs, but 183 hits. Puts him 3rd in the American League. Kinsler pulls this one foul. Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes.
Just a phenomenal offensive player and very good in the outfield also with an above average arm and accurate arm also. So makes some plays in left field here. The last time the Texas went in was unbelievable. It's jump and making the plays.
Down low, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kinsler with that fly ball to left field in the second inning at 0 for 1 night this far. Tied at 1 here in the 4th inning. Double by Murphy. Infield base hit by Guerrero. Broken bat base hit to left field by Nelson Cruz. 2 on and 1 away. Off speed pitch outside with that straight changeup. Kinsler laid off, and it's 2-2.
Just try on that pitch. It locked up Kinsler too. It was at the mercy of the umpire. Reynolds behind the plate, but just off the outside corner. It's 77 on the changeup.
Rolls over this one foul. Nice catch there. Baseball, and you get food. Now
Wow.
that's service.
That's amazing.
He's got mom trained perfectly. Don't bring me the food until I get the foul ball. Now I can eat.
How happy is he right now?
This one rolled over to third. Cayaspo feeds Kendrick for one. Weaver on the first time, an inning-ending double play. But Jared Weaver gives up a run on 3 hits. One left on, heading to the bottom of the 4th. Tied at 1. CarMax by Carl's Jr. Want a Charleston burger top of the big juicy Philly cheesesteak? Then come to Carl's Jr. for the Philly cheesesteak burger, and by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on. Beautiful shot at the Big A here. Southern California. First of 3 gets a Texas win. 1-1 tie here at the bottom of the 4th. Cayaspo, Wood, and Mathis to face Derek Holland, who was scuffling with his control in the 3rd inning. Walked 2 batters, went to a 3-2 count on Juan Rivera, who seemed to hit a grand slam, but was robbed by Julio Bourbon to end that threat. Pass, but takes a strike here from Holland. 0-1. Alberto 0 for 1. He grounded a short in the 2nd inning. Holland has thrown down 51 pitches because of that long 3rd. 33 for strikes.
Still doesn't look real comfortable on the mound. You know, 1 pitch in the strike zone, next one misses by quite a bit.
Curveball bounced back up the middle. Kinsler was shading Cayaspo. He'll retire Alberto for out number 1. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question this evening. Who are the first 3 managers in Texas Rangers history? Well, the first one, of course, is Ted Williams. Whitey Herzog and Billy Martin.
I forgot about Billy.
White Rat was, see the skipper Ron Washington. White Rat, Whitey Herzog, inducted to the Hall of Fame this year.
He still has so many fond memories of that '85 World Series when he was a manager of the Cardinals.
He's let it go, it seems, as Brandon Wood takes a strike.
That's good.
It's not a sore subject for Whitey.
He used to manage the Royals also.
Brandon Wood had an RBI base hit his first time up. There's an even count here at 1 ball, 1 strike. I think Joaquin Andujar has actually put that behind him as well. John Tudor.
Along with a sink in the toilet there in the dugout in Kansas City for that World Series with a baseball bat. Yes, they had.
2 balls and a strike. That had to have been the biggest blown gasket in Game 7 of a World Series ever. Joaquin Andujar.
Yeah, he was kind of angry. Slightly.
3 balls and a strike. Mathis on deck. Borges to follow if we get that far. 1 strikeout, 2 walks for Derek Holland. This one fell off to the right. Full count. Mentioned the 3 games here at the Big A against Texas. Tomorrow night, Colby Lewis, the right-hander, going up against Irvin Santana, looking for his 17th win. In the finale on Wednesday night, C.J. Wilson and Dan Herron. All 3 games, 7:05 here at the Big A. That's upstairs, and Brandon's worked a walk.
Derek Holland throwing that knuckle curveball. We've heard people like Mike Mussina, even Eric Gagne have used that. Reason why you do that, you put most of your pressure on a curveball and your middle finger on the seam anyhow, but use that knuckle curve to be able to have better feel for that pitch and stay on top of that pitch as far as snapping down on the curveball for Derek Holland.
Mathis popped out to end the second inning. So he's 0 for 1. That fastball misses high.
Mathis good as far as handling the bat and hit and run situations. That puts some pressure on Derek Holland, a lefty. Has struggled obviously since the All-Star break. But he's a guy that's pretty good as far as putting the ball in play and when you're going to send the base runner.
Lines this one out toward right field, chasing Nelson. Cruz back, and he's not going to get it. Ward heading toward third. He's being waved around from Evil. Kinsler's relay to home, not in time, and the Angels back on top 2-1.
This time the walk came back to haunt Derek Holland. The walk to Brandon Wood. Double by Jeff Mathis. Scores him a hit ball the other way. Good crouch position as far as hitting for Mathis. When he stands too tall at the plate, he will pull off pitches on the outer half, but he drilled that one exceptionally well. That's just something that Mickey Hatcher tries to get him be more relaxed at the plate and drive the ball to left and right field.
Sixth double for Jeff Mathis, 18th RBI. He's at second base and 1 out. Peter Borges hit the plate. Borges fouls one back. No balls in the strike. Dustin Nippert, big right-hander. First man up.
They're not wasting any time here, are they?
No. Holland at 62 pitches. Nippert is their swing guy, their long guy out of the pen. Could spot start for him. 0-1. Good off-speed pitch there. No balls, 2 strikes. As a young man, when you first started, not that you're not still young, but when you were in the big leagues young, did that used to fire you up? Manager getting a bullpen fired up early?
Just a little bit. If I happen, most times I might look back there, but if I happen to hear somebody say or think there's somebody up in the bullpen early in the game and I've only given up 2 runs, yeah, I'm a little bit upset. But the reality is, Ron Washington gave you the ball to be able to be a starter here. You better go out there and do a better job as far as throwing strikes. With 3 walks already in the game, maybe that's why he's got somebody up in the bullpen.
Yep. 1-2. Borges out to right field toward the corner. Nelson Cruz giving chase. He's got pretty good speed. Makes the catch. Tagging ahead into third is Mathis. And there are 2 outs.
Pretty good sign, though, for Borges, by the way, going the other way like that. And, of course, at a base hit up the middle so far in this game.
You pointed out in that first at-bat when he get that ball on the outside part of the plate, went back up the middle of the base hit, that has been the one spot where he has been exploited. But tonight trying to take it the other way. So Mathis at third. 2 outs, and here's Howie Kendrick. Halos up 2-1. Howie 0 for 2. Kendrick with a strikeout of the first and squared one up right to Bourbon at center field in the third. Now one missing upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes, and Matt Trainor's going to go out.
Talked
things over with a youngster. Hey, folks, come out to the Big A, the home plate gate, where the hats are, the big hats, on Friday, September 24th, between 5 and 7 p.m. This will mark the official start to the year-long Angels baseball 50th anniversary celebration. So Friday, September 24th, the big hats between 5 and 7 p.m. Friday night's activities include the opportunity to see live interviews as current and former Angels discuss their place in Halo history. As Kendrick takes upstairs, it's 3 balls and no strikes. Do that with the folks from AM 830 and Fox Sports West. Other activities include the revealing of the official 50th anniversary logo, prizes, and much more. 5 to 7 at the Big Hats on Friday. Be there. That pitch is a strike, 3-1.
Can't wait.
I'll be there.
Can I walk with you there? Can I help you out? Can I be your bodyguard?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
3-1. Bouncer back up the middle, off the leg of Holland into left. That'll bring home a run. Kendrick's trying to go to second. The throw from Murphy, not in time, and that'll go as a double for Howie. Picking up his 70th RBI, and the Angels are up 3-1. And here comes Mike Maddox to check on his starter.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time in the game already. Ground balls up the middle that Derek Holland tried to put his foot out to kick it away. This time he did and kicked it in the outfield. Ended up being, instead of a base hit up the middle, ended up being a double for Howie. 37 doubles on the season. Kicked at it. It is hockey season. Kick saving a beauty, but kicked it to the outfield.
Now Nippert should be just about ready to go. Got a left-handed batter, Bobby Abreu, at the play with 2 outs. See if Holland can get through Abreu. And again, the conversation that lingers on forever with Mike Maddox as he hits back to the dugout. Abreu 0 for 2 twice. He's grounded out to Kinsler. Holland stepping off the rubber there, so Bobby backs out. 5 hits on the night for the Angels, 4 for Texas. Halos have left 4 on base, while the Rangers have left 2. Bobby had a pretty good road trip, 9 for 22. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, a couple of stolen bases. Getting him back on track. His average will dip south of 250 as he takes that breaking ball for a strike. And it'll even the count. Matter of fact, when that road trip started on Tuesday in Cleveland, Abreu hitting 249. A good road trip. The average back up as he fouls this one into the seats along that third base line. That's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think you see him looking inside with a fastball and not taking that pitch. A lot of times you see him go inside out and turning on the pitches on the inside part of the plate, resulting in some power numbers for him.
Holland again stepping off here. He and Trainer not getting on the same page. Howie with a pretty good lead at second. With 2 outs. Abreu hits a high fly ball down the right field line. This one's got a chance. Cruz toward the wall. The long run. Can't make the play. That is a double for Bobby Abreu. And it's a 4-1 Angel lead. A towering shot. Cruz with great speed was able to get there. It almost seemed like he overran that ball.
Well, it's a different type of sky here tonight. A little fog in the air. Cruz looking around to see where he ran there. He got a good jump on it, but he ran too far on it. Went by him. Bounces in for a ground rule double. Try to find out where the warning track and the wall was. That low wall down the right field line. Result, another double.
Back-to-back doubles, third double of the fourth inning, and that's going to be it as Ron Washington is out to make a pitching change. Dustin Nippert is coming on as Derek Holland lasts just 3 2/3, giving up the 4 runs and responsible for Abreu at second base. We're still in the fourth. Halos up 4-1. High-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit at AT&T.com or call 1-800-PICK-AT&T for details. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Back out here at the Big A, it's 4-1 Angels. And Torrey Hunter will face Dustin Nippert. 4-4 mark at a 4.53 RA, pitching down his 34th game. Couple of starts. He comes on with Abreu at second base. And Torres swings the first pitch, hits a high fly ball to right. Nelson Cruz is back. He'll track this one down, makes the catch. That will end the fourth. The Halos get 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits. Leave a man on, and through 4, Angels up 4-1. Bottom third of the order for Texas, Moreland, Trainer, and Bourbon. Short schedule throughout Major League Baseball. Only 4 games in the National League. Only 2 ongoing right now. This one and the one up in Oakland. White Sox and the A's. Scoreless in the 4th. Mitch Moreland, a strikeout victim his first time up. Takes a fastball up and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Jared with a couple of strikeouts, no walks, 4 hits allowed. 3 of which came in a row in the 4th. Strike. Even to count.
Good changeup behind 1-0. That's the difference makers for Jerry Weaver. The ability to throw secondary pitches when you're behind the count. Fastball counts, could throw a changeup in.
Two balls and a strike here on Moreland. This one cued off the end of the bat. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moreland was a 17th round pick by Texas in 07. And of Mississippi State. The struggles that they've had at first base, specifically with Chris Davis. Moreland has stepped in, done a nice job. Nothing earth-shattering on the offensive front, although on-base percentage pretty good. But he has shown the ability when he makes contact. He's got some pretty good pop. He can drive the baseball. Did a nice job at first base.
You see that bat speed that he has. He can generate. Is susceptible to slow curveballs in the dirt. Will expand his strike zone on occasion. And the same thing with a changeup. They come with that no-seam fastball inside.
Missed inside. It's a full count. That's the first 3-ball count that Weaver has had in this game. Moreland just 25 years of age, just turned 25 a couple of weeks ago. And a 3-2. Missed outside. It's a walk. Leadoff man is on board. We'll take a look at our Jaguar game recap for this evening.
Well, the Angels have been able to score some runs with some good quality approaches at the plate. Brandon Wood, base hit up the middle, scores Mike Napoli. Then, of course, Jeff Mathis, fastball outside corner, drives it to right center field, drives in Brandon Wood, who had walked. Of course, Howie again, right back up the middle off the foot of Derek Holland, knocked him out of the game there with a base hit. Bobby with that big fly ball to right field that Nelson Cruz seemed to be under there to make the play, but it drifted by him for a ground roll double.
Trainer lines one to left, a base hit. Swinging first pitch fastball after grounding out his first time up. So 1 for 2 game for Trainer. Texas right back at it with runners at first and second and nobody out. And Bourbon, the center fielder, coming up.
Well, that's the thing you want out of Jared, that shutdown inning after your club scores you 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Now a couple base runners and the guy that will bunt. Not for necessarily for a sacrifice, it's a bunt for a base hit scenario for Bourbon. Very, very quick.
Bourbon grounded out to Howie in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. Callaspo in on the grass. Bourbon drops a bunt up the 3rd base line. Mathis has got it. Will throw on the 3rd. They get the lead runner. There's out number 1. Boy, Mathis just coming out from behind the plate. Ball did not get up the line. It allowed Jeff to get it. There was a strike to Alberto for the first down.
Well, he was a quarterback in high school. You could see how he's able to deliver that throw to 3rd base on the run. Strong throw, too, over to Callaspo to get that lead runner. Boy, he did a good job of bouncing out there in the front of that plate. Boy, he got it before it even got a chance to roll a little bit further down the line. That could have been dangerous.
It's Moreland that was retired at 3rd base. Trainer, the catcher, at 2nd. Bourbon at 1st. 1 out. Top of the order here in Elvis Andrus. Rangers shortstop 0 for 2 with a ground ball to 2nd, a fly ball to center. Both Borges and Hunter shallow in the outfield at center and right respectively as time is called. Breaking pitch misses down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Texas, a team that has taken advantage of its schedule and its ballpark at home. 48-26 at the ballpark in Arlington. They are 4 games under 500 out on the road at 35-39. They've played well against the West. As this one's out towards shallow center, Borges goes back a couple of steps, makes the catch, 2 outs.
And then when you look at what they did in interleague play, similar to what the Angels did last season, just dominated the National League and propelled themselves into first place.
Credit Ron Washington and the staff, really, because with the injuries that they've had, and they've had some injuries. That's the biggest thing when you talk about teams in spring training, about who's got a chance to make a run. There are the teams that are, well, this team is stacked. They should make a run. This team is very good. Barring injuries, they should make a run. Texas was kind of that team. They made some noise last year. And for the most part, they've stayed healthy. Vladdy has stayed healthy for the most part. Nelson Cruz twice has been on the DL. Ian Kinsler's been on the DL. Josh Hamilton has been injured. And they have somehow figured it out. David Murphy has played a huge role. That's why they've got a 9-game lead in the West. As Young swings through that pitch.
Yeah, they've had some guys come up in spots which generally are going to be role players, but playing key parts of their run here to first place, and they've been successful. I mean, who would have ever thought? I mean, Vlad, the last couple seasons, still a threat, but a guy that hasn't been able to stay healthy, put together a phenomenal season so far, as has Josh Hamilton.
Young lays off the breaking pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a strikeout. Off-speed pitch on the corner, 1-2. Rangers lead the American League in batting at 277. 5th in runs, 6th in home runs. They could run, play some defense.
The team ERA under 4. I can't remember the last time they've had that at 392. That's a big reason why.
Breaking pitch in the dirt, smothered by Mathis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We talked about earlier about the June that they had, the 21-6 mark. Really a huge separation between them and the Angels, the Oakland Athletics at that point. The Halos matched them at 18-9, and all of a sudden went downhill going into July and August. This one grounded short. Brandon will pick it up. Young is retired. That will end the 5th inning. This inning's guarded with a walk and a base hit. Garrett gets out of it. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Angels on top 4-1. We got Torrey Hunter to hit a fly ball to right field to end the fourth. Coming on to place Derek Holland, who got the start today for Texas with 3 2/3, struck out 1 walk-through, gave up all 4 runs on 6 hits. Napoli looks at a fastball upstairs.
I think it's a good fastball. He can rush it up there 92 to 96 range. Big 12 to 6 curveball and a changeup.
Two balls and a strike.
That's trying to crush a 2-0 fastball, I think, there. Mike Napoli's loose now. That's the approach you want to have a power hitter. 2-0, you're going to get a fastball. You get that one swing in which you can crush it.
Napoli with a base hit and a run scored and a walk. 1-for-1 game. Fouls this one on the first base side. Moreland and Trader. Count remains 2-2. Hey fans, the Angels have a great ticket special available for this current series. Angels taking on the Texas Rangers. Fans can save 50% off ticket prices in select seating areas when using the password Angels at angelsbaseball.com or the Angels Stadium ticket window. Napoli chases the high fastball, and he'll go down swinging for the first out. Nippert is retired. The first 2 batters he's faced. Here comes Juan Rivera.
Boy, a tough pitch if you're a hitter to lay off of, too. It's a 4-seam fastball, elevated into strikes and looks hittable, but at that speed, at 95 miles an hour, very difficult to catch up to.
Rivera 0 for 2. He's grounded out, then hit that fly ball to center, which Bourbon robbed him of a would-be grand slam. Breaking pitch is fouled off to the right. Mentioned all the injuries that Texas had. They certainly had some in their bullpen. As a matter of fact, the guy on the mound, Dustin Nippert, having spent time on the disabled list, head contusion. He was hit on a line drive off the bat of Austin Jackson of the Tigers back on July 19th. Saw a deal from July 20th through September the 2nd. Off-speed pitch inside. 1 ball, right? You're familiar with something happening to you on the mound with a liner coming back at you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Paul Miles with a line drive and broke my leg. I was in a cast for 12 weeks.
Rivera pops this one up on the infield. Trainer and Rivera. No interference is called. Doesn't matter as Michael Young makes the catch, and there's out number 2.
Ran into each other as Trainer tried to track that baseball, but that's a much easier play for the third baseman coming in as compared to a catcher going out and trying to make that play.
Something that stayed in the back of your mind. Go back to the pitch of Dustin Nippert.
He turned over that all-speed pitch. It's Juan Rivera out in front. Pops it up to third. Yeah, it's fond memory of that line drive up the middle, by the way, Victor.
No, I'm talking about going back out there after the fact and having it still in the back of your mind, knowing that it could happen again.
My first pitch, and then was traded over to the Angels. That first pitch I threw in spring training, still remember, against Doug Glanville. He was on the Chicago Cubs. Hits a line drive right back up the middle, almost the exact spot, but this time it missed me. I said, Uncle. Retired.
Up then?
Yeah, just retired about 2 starts later. I said, that's impossible. Line drive right back like that up the middle.
You never once thought it was an ugly finder, as they like to call it? Kayasa with a 2-out base hit.
No.
And why would you? Brandon Wood comes to the plate, 1 for 1 and a base hit with an RBI, and walked and scored in the 4th inning. Halos with some 2-out knocks in this one.
Pretty good approaches tonight, too. Hitting a lot of balls right up the middle and the other way.
Swinging through that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Nipper wants a new baseball. 2 balls in his strike. Well, thanks our friends at the Toro Sushi Bar and Grill. They brought us up a platter of sushi before the game. It got crushed. They serve sushi downstairs, the Diamond Club, as well as in section 124.
Good stuff.
Quick throw over, and Callaspo diving back in. Based in Ontario. Toro Sushi Bar, Grill, Lounge, Nightlife. There's a strike, and it's 0-2. RBI for Wood in the 2nd inning, his 14th of the year. The Halos with a run in the 2nd and 3 in the 4th. Ranger scouting report was out that Callaspo's a real threat to take off at second base. He doesn't run that much. 5 stolen bases on the year. 2 as a member of the Angels. 0-2. Wood chases that high fastball. Dustin Nipper picks up a couple of strikeouts here in the 5th. We are through 5 here at the Big A. Angels still up 4-1.
Rivera, that 3-2 fastball. Julio Marmon timed it perfectly, took away the grand slam from Juan Rivera. And that was our Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light. That's not fair. He had 4 RBI, home run.
Murphy slapping one down the left field line. It is tailing. It is foul. David Murphy, the leadoff man here in the 6th inning with a 4-1 Angel lead. Already with 2 hits in this one with a single and a double. Going the opposite way.
I think it's a double down the right field line on a changeup. He's out in front. Still using all parts of this field to try to have some success against Jared. So far in this game he has, but throughout his career, absolutely no success.
Breaks his bat, loops one to right. He's got his third hit of the game. Texas with 6 hits, 3 coming off the bat of David Murphy, a 3-for-3 game. Leadoff man is on board for the second consecutive inning for the Rangers. Brings up Vladimir Guerrero.
You see Jared communicating with Howie Kendrick, who he has. If Vlad hits a ground ball back up the middle at him, the throw will be to Howie at second base. But it's all about as a pitcher. You're supposed to and you need to communicate with your middle infielders, know where they're going to be playing. Sometimes the ground ball at the middle, you get out of the way because they're playing right behind you.
Vladdy chasing the high fastball, and it's 0-1. But a fly ball to left field in the first inning. So the infield base hit. So 1 for 2 game.
He's got that great inside-out approach at the plate, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. He's picked it up, though, for Texas while Hamilton has been out. Gets jammed here. It's just not to shallow left. Bobby's coming on, and he'll make the running catch for the first down. Vladdy's been hitting .408 prior to tonight over the last 12 games.
Like Jared fell down as he exactly did that. He landed in a wrong spot on the mound. Tripped as he delivered the pitch.
That's a new approach to try to distract Vladdy. Just throw it and fall.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Mess up his concentration.
Yes. It's all about being a veteran on the mound.
Well, Guerrero retired for the second time. It brings up Nelson Cruz, who had an RBI single in the 4th inning, bringing home Texas. 1 and only run so far. Murphy's got good speed over at first. Off speed pitch outside. Jared with just 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Blows a fastball by Cruz. Even it's down at 1-1. If my math is correct, it looks like Jared will face Texas in that 4-game series down in Arlington one more time. Weaver's made 2 starts in Texas, lost both of them. Foul back, and it's 1-2. Matter of fact, the first start was a no decision. He's lost 1. He and C.J. Wilson both got roughed up in that May start.
Yeah, Jared had a pretty good lead in that game. At that point, I think C.J. Wilson was leading the American League in ERA. That's a tough park to pitch in. If you don't make your pitches or you walk some batters, you put yourself in a position to give up a lot of runs.
This one out to right. Torrey's there. 2 outs. Murphy heads back to first base. Oh, 2 outs and the man at first. Here comes Ian Kinsler, the second baseman. Jared's coming off a start in which he beat Cleveland 7-0. Giving up no runs. 1 hit. 7 innings of work. Threw 100 pitches in that start. Struck out 7. Walked nobody.
Similar pace like that last game where he started off slow as far as the strikeout pitch, but then all of a sudden that 6th and 7th inning started picking up the punch outs.
Kinsler drops a bunt up the third base line, and that's going to go for an infield base hit. A 2-out bunt base hit brings up Mitch Moreland with 2 men on and 2 outs.
Kind of an interesting move by Ian Kinsler with his power.
Moreland tonight has struck out and walked. Breaking ball out to center field. This should end the inning, and it goes. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base. The end of the bottom of the 6th inning here at the Big A. Halos out by the score of 4-1. being played.
Of course, some great defensive plays. Howie right away to start the game with the backhand. Strong play. Then he goes back on a pop-up. Same inning. Back-to-back plays. Outstanding effort by Howie Kendrick at second. And Cayaspo showing some range at third. Throws the would-be guy out of first base. Of course, we saw Borbon make a great play in center.
Absolutely. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning with the Angels up 4-1. Halos setting up 8-9-1. Mathis, Borges, and Kendrick. Jeff had an RBI double in the fourth inning. He also scored a run. Two balls and no strikes. Nippert came on for Holland with 2 outs in the fourth inning. He's gone an inning and a third so far. There's a strike. It is 2-1. Texas with a run on 7 hits. They've left 6 on base. The Angels 4 runs, 7 hits. They too have stranded 6. Nippert picking up a couple of strikeouts in the fifth inning. Breaking ball locks up Mathis. Pretty good pitch right there. It's 74 miles an hour, and it's 2-2.
Best thing about his curveball, too, it comes in that same plane as that high fastball he'll throw at 95. So as a hitter, you're kind of frozen there. You see that level of the pitch, and then it drops down in the strike zone at 74.
Mathis fouls this one off with home plate umpire Jim Reynolds. They've also got a piece of trainer. Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Turned into a foggy night here at the Big A. Full count.
Talk about some rain on Wednesday.
Thought maybe even possibly tomorrow as well. Like how they call it a drizzle here. It's rain everywhere. Mathis swings through that one, and there's out number 1 to start the sixth inning. Third strikeout for Nippert. Major Fans Fan Appreciation Day takes place on Sunday, September 26th, as the Angels take on the Chicago White Sox. And of course, we'd like to thank you, the fans, for your support here in 2010. All fans in attendance will automatically be entered to win great prizes from PoolTableExperts.com, Sundance Spas of Orange County, Yokohama, John Lovitz Comedy Club, Dave & Buster's Prime Cut, San Diego Zoo, Furniture Travel, and much, much more. Purchase tickets at angelsbaseball.com. As Borges drops a beautiful bunt up the third base line. And it's an infield base hit, his second hit of the game.
Boy, Trainer thought about throwing at the first base, but great decision, especially considering the fact that Borges runs so well. Good bunt right down the third base line. Showing that speed, second hit of the game. Well, that's the thing that, you know, Alfredo Griffin's going to work with him as far as getting those bunts, because it's an easy hit for him if he puts it in play. That way, your next few at bats, if you have a good approach, you're going to get your 2 or 3 hits, end up having a solid game. Nippert, not real fast to the plate. 1-3-7 is like Mathis again out there for quite some time at the mound.
Clay Rapata. Left-hander's getting loose.
Boy, Borges has got to go right away. Nippert's allowed 11 stolen bases. Nobody's been caught yet this year.
Off. The pitch is down low. The throw down from Trainer. Got it down to stolen base. Second of the game for Borges. Didn't even have a very good jump.
And when a guy that tall as Nippert is 6'8", taking a long time. His quickest time that it plays about 1-3-7. Generally hovers in at 145. Catcher, no chance at all, even though he didn't have that great of a jump, Peter Borges.
Angels tonight 4 for 8 with men in scoring position. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball low. 2 balls and no strikes. First stolen base Borges had tonight was a stolen base at third base.
Giving him 7 on the year, just getting him acclimated as far as reading pitchers. He certainly has the speed to steal bags.
Fastball is in there. 2-1. Howard tonight 1 for 3, had an RBI double in the 4th inning. Also scored 1 of the 3 runs. Borges takes off. That one's fouled back. Borges had a good jump on that one.
Well, he read him perfectly as far as getting that jump. Well, especially when you think about a right-handed batter, Matt Trainer would not have had a clear path to third base. More likely would have been a successful stolen base for Peter Borges.
Tinsler's trying to keep him close to second.
That's perfect, though, for Hound because he hits the ball so often to that side of the field, he can get a base hit out of it. We almost hope for the second baseman to be close to the base against Howie because he does a great job as far as going inside out on the pitch, especially when a guy throws it 95.
Two foul back. Looked like Howie was trying to shoot it to that right side. Got a pretty good fastball from Nippert. Count remains at 2-2. Bobby Abreu is the man on deck. I figure this might be Nippert's last batter, depending on what happens with Abreu coming up. Rapana ready to go. That one hit him. Howie will take his base. There are 2 on here with 1 out in the 6th. Ron Washington's coming out. Sure enough, looks like we're going to get a pitching change. With Abreu coming up. Replay on that ball hitting the left forearm area of Kendrick. 2 men on. Nippert done after an inning and 2/3 of relief with 3 strikeouts. Leaves with men at first and second base. We've got a pitching change here at the Big A. With Bobby Abreu due up, the Angels up 4-1, looking for more. Box right now. Get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. By Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. And by Jack Daniels. Your friends at Jack Daniels remind you to drink responsibly. Back down here at the Big A, it's 4-1 Angels. Halos have 2 men on, 1 out, facing left-hander Clay Rapata, the former Detroit Tiger, to face Bobby Abreu.
Fastball settles in around 85 to 89 range. A slider, pretty good changeup. Good speed on the bases for the Angels here. Keep an eye on the possibility of a potential double steal.
Rapata, the slinger, delivers a strike to Bobby. A 1 for 3. Night for Abreu. Double and RBI. Rapata picked up from the Tigers in December of last year. Made his debut with Texas on September the 3rd. Lays off the slider. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
More likely Bobby's going to have to go the other way against Rapata. He's staying away, especially that arm angle he creates. Fastball away, slider away. If he makes a mistake inside, you still have plenty of time to be able to turn on that pitch because he's not overpowering.
Rapata was at AAA all year. Had pretty good numbers down there. 50 relief appearances, a 1.82 ERA. And in his big league career, he's held left-handed batters to a 190 average. With the Cubs in 07, Tigers from 07-09. Two balls and a strike.
Likely only in for 1 batter here in Bobby Abreu. And Torrey Hunter on deck.
Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Borges at second, Kendrick at first. The 2-2. Bobby hits a fly ball to center. Out number 2. Here comes Ron Washington playing the matchup game. And Rapata is done after 1 batter here in the 6th inning. Pedro Strop will be coming on, the right-hander. With 2 outs and 2 on to face Torrey Hunter. The Angels still up 4-1. Strop with 2 outs and 2 on will face Torrey Hunter.
Well, Strope's got a very good fastball, 93 to 96 range. A decent slider and a very good split finger fastball, which is his out pitch.
Torrey's lined out and walked and hit a fly ball to right, so an 0 for 2 game. He's got Borges at second and Kendrick at first. Good speed on the bases for the Angels. It's the 5th stint for Strop this year in the big leagues. Got called on September 1st. Breaking pitch gets away from Trainer, and the runners will advance. No balls and a strike on Torrey.
Well, like that might be a pass ball. Breaking pitch. Well, it could have been a split finger fastball the way that thing just went dropped right out of the strike zone.
Strop with a 9.72 ERA with Texas. Fastball is outside. Pitch has got some giddy up on it.
It does, but you can see where he might have trouble with consistently hitting the strike zone. Some different type mechanics. Landing in this, slinging it in from that arm slot.
That is pulled, and Michael Young can't handle it. Borges will score. Kendrick's being waved around, and he's going to score. It's 6-1 Angels. Torrey Hunter with his 82nd and 83rd runs batted into the year.
Where Torrey got that pitch up in the strike zone. Might have been a slider in the middle of the zone, too. Pulled it right by Michael Young, who tried to make the play to the glove side, but got by. So being a 2 RBI single for Torrey. Getting an 83 RBI on the season now.
Another 2-out base hit for the Angels tonight. Those 2 runs charged to Dustin Nippert. The book on him is closed. Both earned in an inning and 2/3. Napoli takes a fastball for a strike at 97 miles an hour. Mike, 1 for 2. The base hit, a walk, and a strikeout. He's also scored a run. Big swing and a miss there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Halos had 9 hits last night or yesterday afternoon in St. Pete. They followed that up with another 9-hit performance today. The ball club that has hit just 206 in the month of September. Napoli hits a pop-up. Shallow left field, down the line it goes. Andrus just back into fair territory, makes a catch. That will end the bottom of the 6th inning, but Torrey Hunter picks up a base hit and 2 RBIs, 6 in the books. Halos up 6-1. score of 6-1, and we go back to our Hyundai key to the game.
Oh, home on the Rangers for Jared Weaver. Pitching so well at home. 5-3 with a 1.56. Coming into this game at 2-0 with no earned runs against the Rangers. So far, it is 1 earned run in 6 innings.
Well, had you not enunciated that, I would have had no clue on it. Thank you, man.
You probably just went right over your head.
Unbelievable. It's greatness. Matt Trainer lead things off here. Weaver falls behind her. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's a talent.
Harness it, my man. Perhaps you could bottle it one of these days and even sell it.
Oh, yeah.
Trainer 1 for 2 at a base hit. Last time up, takes his strike. It's 2-1. This one fouled back. We'll find its place in the seats.
And it found a seat.
2-2. Two from Weaver. Breaking ball fouled off to the right. Weaver now 91 pitches, 64 for strikes, 2 strikeouts in this game. Issued 1 walk. That's a full count. It's Trainer, Bourbon, and Andrus. Scheduled 3 batters here in the Texas half of the 7th. New baseball being put into play.
Pretty good swing on a fastball. You have to challenge him with a fastball there after he took that changeup on the inside part of the plate.
Going back outside. Another 3-2. He lost him. Leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Weaver. Hey, fans, come out to Angel Stadium home plate gate hats this Friday, September 24th between 5 and 7. It will mark the official start of the year-long Angels baseball 50th anniversary celebration. Friday night's activities include the opportunity to see live interviews as current and former Halos discuss their place in Angels history with AM 830 and Fox Sports West. Other activities include the reveal of the official 50th anniversary logo, prizes, and much, much more. I think we're busting out some of the jerseys during the game on Friday.
Can't wait. That should be pretty cool.
Bourbon is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and then tried to sacrifice a couple of runners in the 5th inning. Reached on a fielder's choice as Moreland was thrown out by Mathis. Slaps this one past the left side. And the first 2 men on board here to start the 7th for Texas.
Similar to what happened back in the 5th inning. Leadoff walk and a base hit. This inning, leadoff walk and a base hit.
Looks like Kevin Jepson is beginning to loosen in the Angels bullpen. Mike Butcher's going to come out. Jared's at 96 pitches. Cool night. A 6-1 lead here in the 7th. No doubt he wants to get through this inning. You see Jepson there getting ready just in case. Rich Harden, the former starter. Elvis Andrus 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls to center and a ground ball to second. Takes down low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Andrus is a guy that doesn't hit in many double plays. He's hitting 5. Certainly, though, if you get a ground ball to Howie or Brandon Wood up the middle, you have a shot at it.
Going with that changeup, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The catcher Trainer's at second base, Bourbon at first. Trying to overthrow that fastball there, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Jared's fastball hasn't been as consistent tonight. He's been 87, 88, 89. A couple fastballs at early in the game, 92, 93, but not quite the same zip on the fastball. It's been a battle for him throughout this game.
Early on, relied a lot on that breaking pitch, the curveball and slider. 3-1. There's a strike, full count. Three-two count, the pitch. This one grounded over to second. They'll get the lead runner toward ball. That is it, with Kendrick having to go to his left. Very difficult to turn to with the speed of Elvis. So 1 out, runners at the corners now with Michael Young coming to the plate.
Still pretty good battle for Jared to get that out. Now you still put yourself in a position because how he was able to get the runner at second. You're open up the possibility of a double play ball. Michael Young is a guy that will hit in a double play. 21 ground ball double plays for him this season.
4th most in the American League. Outfield straight up, as is the infield, with Napoli holding Andrus at first base. Elvis will run 30 stolen bases. He's been caught 14 times. This one back up the middle. Brandon's got it. Tries to flip to Howie. They get the out at second base. What a play by Brandon Wood. Trainer scores at 6-2 Angels, but the Halos get the second out.
That's some good range. With Brandon Wood playing shortstop position. Drafted as a shortstop. Well, hit well up the middle. Michael Young, but a nice play. A flip over to Howie. Just get that lead out. You're not going to get a double play on a ball like that up the middle. Most important thing at this point of the game is outs.
Young reaches on the fielder's choice and picks up his 85th RBI. 2 outs for David Murphy. He takes a changeup down low. Murphy has figured out Jared Weaver. 3-for-3 performance, 2 singles and a double. He's also scored a run. Two balls and no strikes. Vladimir Guerrero on deck.
I think if you're Jared right now, you got to think in the lines of getting David Murphy out and try him to get him out with your fastball. Just stay down and away with it. Good fastball. Just have some sink on it.
Off the end of the bat, and that's a 4-hit night for Murphy as Young stops at second. Again with that off-speed pitch. 2 men on, 2 outs for Vladimir Guerrero, and Mike Scioscia's going to go to the bullpen. He's opting to go with Kevin Jepson instead of Jared Weaver. Weaver will be done after going 6 2/3, giving up 2 runs thus far, responsible for the 2 men on base. He'll get a terrific round of applause here, in line to pick up his 13th win. We're out of the game with 2 outs here in the 7th. Parting with property at first and second base. Michael Young at second, David Murphy at first. David Murphy, by the way, came into this game 1 for 21 against Jared Weaver in his career. 4 for 4 tonight, 3 singles, a double, and a run scored. I still don't think he has squared up one baseball, but he'll take it. 4 for 4 is 4 for 4.
That's why he's smiling like that.
Absolutely. Kevin Jepson takes over here. Big task for Jepson to face Vladimir Guerrero with 2 outs and 2 on. 6-2 game.
62nd game for Jepson also.
Fouled back on the first pitch, and it snowballs in a strike.
I'm not so sure we want that baseball fouled back up here in our booth. That one just 2 booths over. That was flying in there.
Vladimir Guerrero has 1 at bat in his career against Kevin Jepson. It's a home run. 0-1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Vladdy in this one 1 for 3. Had an infield single back in the 4th. 1 of 9 hits for Texas. And this was shot to right field, a base hit. Michael Young's being waved around. He's going to stop at third base. Torrey Hunter came up with it. And it looked clearly like Michael Young was going to be waved home. Instead, the bases are loaded here for Nelson Cruz with 2 outs.
Well, Torrey was surprised, too. He was thinking Alonso was going to throw to prevent the base runners from advancing, getting a scoring position. But when they held him up, he just hit the cutoff man. Kind of a break for the Angels here. They can still get through this inning without any more damage against them.
Very powerful man in Nelson Cruz at the plate. 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Cruz with 21 home runs on the season. 74 RBIs. First pitch fastball is down low. It's Young at third base, Murphy at second, Guerrero at first. See the numbers for Cruz tonight with that 1 for 3. A clean single to left field off Weaver in the 4th. Two balls and no strikes. Cruz almost undecided on that swing.
On a break for the Angels, that was a ball. That would have been 3-0 with the bases loaded.
2 balls and a strike. Francisco Rodriguez begins to loosen in a hurry. Outside, 3-1. No place to put him. 3-1 count with 2 outs. He just walked in a run. 6-3 Angels. Well, the run that you thought was going to score on the base hit by Guerrero does come in now, courtesy of the free pass issued by Jepson. That run gets charged to Weaver. Murphy to third base, Guerrero to second. Cruz now with 75 RBIs.
The bottom line, you let him back in the game now. Base hit, a walk.
Leadoff walk to Matt Trainer. That started the 7th inning. Base hit by Bourbeau. 2 runs in, bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's Ian Kinsler, the second baseman. 8th man to bat for Texas here in the 7th. Kinsler 1 for 3, had a base hit in the 6th inning. Popped him up. Howie Kendrick stepping onto the outfield grass, makes it against that one on the inning. Texas gets 2 here in the 7th. They do it on 3 hits and leave them loaded. 7th inning stretch time with the Angels up 6-3. Have Rivera, Callaspo, and Wood here facing Pedro Strop. Came on with 2 outs in the 6th inning, gave up that 2 RBI single to Torrey Hunter. And then retired Mike Napoli. Juan Rivera 0 for 3 in this one. Strop delivers a fastball in for a strike. Well, with a ground out and a couple of pop-ups. I'd say that jokingly because one of them was a deep drive.
One of them was a would-be grand slam.
Breaking ball is down low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Strop did get to the big leagues last year for Texas, pitching in 7 games. Native of the Dominican Republic. Misses outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Matt Harrison, the left-hander. Scott Feldman, the right-hander. A couple of former starters. And Strop falls behind here. 3 balls and 1 strike as we go back to that at bat for Juan Rivera back in the 3rd inning. Julio Borbon helping out Derek Holland. That would have made it a 5-0 game. Instead, he kept it at 1-0, ending that 3rd inning. Rivera helping Strop out there. Would have been ball 4. Full count.
Just looking at Strop's mechanics, the way he throws the ball, release point, it's going to be pretty hard for him to consistently throw strikes. Got to stay back a little bit longer over the pitching rubber, otherwise he's going to be in trouble.
3-2, that's a walk. Leadoff man is on board. Brings up Alberto Callaspo. And wouldn't you know it, another visit to the mound by Mike Maddox. 4th walk issued by Rangers pitching. Juan Rivera still remains the only Angel without a hit. Halos with 9 in this game. Texas with 10 of them. Jim Reynolds, the home plate umpire, clearing out a path between home and the pitcher's mound.
Part of the communication, too, might be a bunt scenario, but he's got to be swinging away here. More than likely, Kayaspo will be.
Kayaspo 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th. See how Berto's batting average has dipped down south of 270 at 268 right now with the struggles he's had. Takes a strike. Berto came into this game batting 123 in the month of September. Swings and misses on that breaking pitch. It's no balls, 2 strikes. That one may have gotten the back leg. That may have got him square. Rivera will head to second. Kayaspo in pain at the plate.
Being an inconsistent release point for Strobe, it's going to be difficult for him to throw strikes. You've got him in the ankle area, possibly.
That's the back leg.
And that's missed it by a lot. Well, when you throw that hard, that's going to get him pretty good, too. And hopefully, Roberto's going to be okay.
He's going to come out of the game here. Kevin Franzen coming on a pinch run. Take over at third base.
Well, that got him looked like a great on the for the back leg. Oh, you talk about missing by a lot.
Reggie Willis pinch running at second base for Juan Rivera. You got Kevin Franzen, the pinch runner at first for Kayaspo. And Ron Washington is going to make a pitching change with Brandon Wood due up, because there's no sense in doing that while Kayaspo was being tended to. We'll do it now. Pitching break. We're in the 7th. Angels up 6-3 with nobody out and 2 men on here at the Big A. Lexi Ogando takes over here for Pedro Strop. Fourth reliever used by Ron Washington. Nobody out here in the seventh. 2 men on. Ogando, a good first year in the big leagues. 4-1 and a 1.26 ERA.
Well, Ogando has a great fastball, 93 to 98, curveball and a changeup. See those numbers so far for him. Very consistent, big part of that bullpen for Ron Washington.
The bullpen that's been used quite a bit tonight and all season long. Reggie Willis over at second base. He's the pinch runner for Rivera, who drew the leadoff walk. Kevin Franzen, the pinch runner at second base. Alberto Callaspo taken out of the game after being hit by a pitch on the left foot area.
Should be a bunt scenario for Brandon Wood.
Fouls it back, and it's no balls and a strike. Michael Young, in on the grass at third base. Brandon 1 for 2. RBI single. Trying to bunt, fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Breaking ball, hit out toward left center field. Murphy is back there. Willis is tagging. So is Franzen. The throw is coming to second, so Franzen turns around, heads back to first.
Good idea for Franzen there, too, because the reality of the play's in front of him. If he throws a third, he's going to be able to successfully get into second base. Read it, went back to the base. Reggie Willis able to advance on that fly ball by Brandon Wood.
Hideki Matsui is coming out to the on-deck circle. He's going to pinch hit for Jeff Mathis. With Willis at third and Franzen over at first base. Matt Harrison was up and loosening. Scott Feltman is up. The right-hander. Harrison was a lefty. There's a visit to the mound. There's Harrison. See the average for Matsui since August the 14th. Hideki hitting .270 with 20 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Swing at the first pitch and fouls it back. Took a huge hack there. No balls in a strike.
Pretty good swing at that pitch. Fastball at 95.
Hideki 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. He comes up here with one out, runners at first and third. Mathis ends the game going 1 for 3. Had an RBI double and a run scored to the fourth. Quick throw to first. Franzen easily back. Franzen with a very small lead at first base. Very long seventh inning. Both the top and the bottom. Texas scoring twice to make it a 3-run deficit for them. Matsui now asking for time. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And so we're trying to get a pitch up in the strike zone so he can at very least hit a fly ball to get that one of those runs back that the Rangers scored at the top of the 7th.
Ogando's gone 5 1/3 scoreless over his last 9 appearances with a 1.08 ERA. The last 22 games. As Matsui slices one foul, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. With a 2 ball, 2 strike count and 1 out, runners at first and third. We're going to turn the broadcast over to the NHK broadcasters sending their signal back to Japan.
許せないですよね。全然チャンスありますね。ホームラン20本、打点79。どうだ。内野安打1点を加えました。そして一塁ランナーも3塁まで行きました。松井今日1打点、これで80打点としました。ナイスヒットですね。当たり的には、ちょっと詰まってますけども。
Matsui-san with a base hit, an RBI, and it's 7-3 Angels. The courtesy of NHK, we thank them. Of course, they've been with us pretty much all season long.
Well, we saw a triple this past week and an infield hit and another visit for Mike Maddox.
Heads up base running two on the part of Kevin Franzen to get to third base. The strategy probably has changed now from Matsui to Borges, and that's why Maddox is out to make sure that Ogando is fully informed. Matsui picking up another RBI, continuing to get the job done. His 80th of the year. Second on the team to Torrey Hunter, who's got 83. Torrey picking up 2 runs batted in tonight. Moreland getting charged with the error that allowed Franzen to go to third. Borges swinging at that first pitch breaking ball, and it's no balls and a strike. Peters 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. One was a bunt base hit. He's also stolen 2 bases and scored a run. Breaking ball on the inside corner, 0-2. Breaking ball against Borges. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order now, and Howie Kendrick.
Keep an eye with a man on third with Ogando. Has 3 wild pitches already this year. He has a tendency to overthrow his slider.
1 ball, no strikes here on Howie. Kendrick, 1 for 3. RBI double in the 4th inning. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored 2 runs. Double by Howie, his 37th. That was that ball that ricocheted off the foot of Derek Holland into shallow left. The RBI, his 70th. Fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Howie laying off that breaking pitch. Abreu on deck. They've got Matt Harrison ready to go in the bullpen. A left-hander. (3-0). Howie fouls it off to the right. (3-1). Howie grounds this one to short. Anderson's got it. He'll feed Tinsler. They force out Hideki. The inning mercifully comes to an end, but the Angels get a run. One of those back. 7 in the books. Halos on top, 7-3. Matsui pinch hit for Jeff Mathis. So Bobby comes into the game. Kevin Francis stays the game. He is at third base. We got a new pitcher on the mound. You can tell by the music in the background, it is Francisco Rodriguez taking over for Kevin Jepson.
Well, his 40th game for Francisco, ERA 4.36. Key for Francisco has been command of that strike zone. Brushed a fastball, 94-95, throws the cut fastball, curveball, changeup. Needs to throw strikes.
He's going to face the bottom third of the order here. Moreland, Trainer, and Bourbon. Kevin Jepson, by the way, goes 1/3 of an inning. Walks a man, gives up a hit, no runs. Jared Weaver tonight, 6 2/3, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 runs on 9 hits. Moreland takes a strike. He's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a fly ball to center. If I didn't say it out loud, Moreland did get charged with an error on the play, allowing Franza to get to third. Lays off that pitch, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So much stuff going on in that 7th inning. It lasted a little over 30 minutes. 39 minutes, pardon me.
There's some more baseball.
It's a little over 30.
Yeah, 9 minutes over 30.
1-1. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Breaking ball, gets him looking, down goes Moreland. There's out number 1. Hey fans, the Angels are giving away yet another trend-setting hat with kids back at school. Come out to the Big A Saturday, September 25th. That's the Angels and the White Sox. Kids ages 2 to 18 in attendance will receive a free Angels camo hat courtesy of Smart Final. Get your tickets today at angelsbaseball.com or the Angels Stadium ticket window. Pinch hitter here with 1 out, nobody on. Chris Davis, the switch hitting, left-hand hitting first baseman. Batting for Trainer, who ended up going 1 for 2 with a base hit. A ground out and a walk as Francisco delivers a strike.
Boy, attacking that strike zone. Very good curveball to get the first out of the inning. Call 3rd strike. Good 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner.
That ball's hammered out to deep right center field. Chris Davis with a pinch hit home run that goes up almost halfway into the bleachers in right. Texas gets that run back. It is 7-4.
You don't see many baseballs go that far
at night.
And it's back on the field, though. Well, look at that 2-seam fastball. Tried to go inside to run it back, but it got too much of the plate. Davis was ready for that one.
First home run of the year for Chris Davis. 4th RBI. Strike on the outside corner to Bourbon. It's 1-1.
It's still hard to believe that was the first home run of the season for Chris Davis.
Well, Davis struggled this year when he started at first base. Spent a lot of time down in the minor leagues. Batted .194 in 36 games. They thought he was going to be the guy. That's why Moreland's playing the bulk of the time at first base. But that power right there is what they saw a couple of years ago. That's why they said, all right, we think we can go with Chris Davis at first. He struggled. Justin Smoke was given the opportunity prior to being traded for the Cliff Lee deal going to Seattle. And Moreland getting the chance. This one lined back up the middle. That's a base hit. So after a strikeout of Moreland, Francisco giving up the home run to Trainer. Now a base hit to Bourbon. Here comes Elvis Andrus. Second hit of the game for Bourbon. He's on board with good speed. Andrus 0 for 4. Mike Butcher's going to make a visit here. Halo's going to scramble, get some action going in the bullpen. Bobby Kazov on the left, Fernando Rodney on the right. Being told that Alberto Callaspo suffered a bruised left foot.
Well, down in the bullpen, they're getting ready in a hurry just in case another base run, and all of a sudden they're bringing up a tying run. This Texas club just doesn't go away. offensively.
12 hits tonight. The chopper, Franzen will cut it off. Take the play at first base, 2 outs. Bourbon advances to second.
Well, that's a nice play by Kevin Franzen. You've been, watching the game from the bench. You come in the pinch run. You do a nice job advancing on an error in the infield after an infield hit for Matsui. And a tough one hopper here, especially with Andrews, who runs well. Not an easy play. You get that short hop. It's a nice play. Big out.
Michael Young takes down low for ball 1. Young's 0 for 4, reached on a fielder's choice, but picked up an RBI and scored a run in the 7th. Kayaspa is going to have precautionary x-rays tomorrow on the bruised left foot. He was hit by a pitch. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Young out to right field. Torrey Hunter back a couple of steps. That will end the inning. Texas gets a run on Chris Davis's first home run of the year. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Halos up 7-4. By Subway. Colby Lewis, the right-hander, after spending a couple of years in Japan, having a nice year back in the States with his originating ball club. He's going up against Irvin Santana tomorrow night. Then on Wednesday, C.J. Wilson, Southern California guy, going up against Dan Herron, another Southern California guy.
Well, that should be a great matchup to both nights as far as pitching staffs. And, of course, the Angels with Irvin Santana, followed up by Dan Herron. Jerry Weaver on Hill tonight. So let's have a good series.
Benji Molina takes over behind the play with Matt Traynor getting pinch hit for. And a new pitcher, 5th pitcher, reliever, I should say, used by Texas. Matt Harrison comes on with Abreu, Hunter, and Napoli due up.
Matt Harrison, a guy with a very good fastball himself. 90 to 95 range, curveball, slider, changeup.
Breaking ball is down low to Abreu. Bobby 1 for 4, had an RBI double in the 4th. The Angels with a solo run in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. There's a strike, 1-1. Texas with 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. That one lined right back up the middle. Bobby Abreu, his second hit of the game. Leadoff man is on board. Torrey 1 for 3. Had a base hit with a couple of RBIs in the 6th inning. Harrison is on, by the way, taking over for Alexi Oganda, who went 1 inning and struck out a man. The run that the Angels scored in the 7th inning charged a stroke. He went 1/3, giving up a hit. Also walking a man. Harrison stepping off there. No balls and a strike. Oakland beat Chicago up at the Coliseum 3-0. That pitch down and in. It's 1-1. Minnesota beat Cleveland 9-3. Boston lost to Baltimore 4-2. Tigers beat Zach Greinke and the Royals 7-5, and the Yankees upend the Tampa Bay Rays 8-6.
Well, Minnesota's getting ready to clinch that division against the White Sox. Now up by 11 games.
Torrey fouls this one off to the right. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A lot of people thought Minnesota, when they moved out of the home field advantage of the Homer Dome and the Metrodome, they would struggle, but they were very good outside there at Target Field now. The magic number at 2 for the Twins. With Justin Morneau being out for a big chunk of the season, they're still playing great baseball. And Joe Nathan not available the whole season, their closer.
Throw to first. Bobby's back. There you have it. Texas loses this one. The A's would be 8 back to the White Sox. Yankees Rays, game and a half. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Brian Cashman said something interesting, the GM for the Yankees, the other day. They feel comfortable about making the postseason. They're going to start resting some of the veteran guys. Even if they do not win the division, they're all about winning a world championship. And they're going to make it in the postseason. They feel Boston back pretty far, but though they do play the Yankees 6 times, I think, by the end of the year.
Abreu takes off. The pitch is outside and throw down for Benji. Not close. And Abreu picks up a stolen base. And I think that's the one thing when you look at Texas, too. Obviously, with this game holds up, and we're hoping that it does. Oakland's 8 back. They've got to play Oakland over the weekend. But assuming Texas continues on and wins the division, goes to the postseason, how imperative is it for Josh Hamilton to be back by not only this weekend, perhaps the first part of next week, so that they can get him going into that postseason?
Well, it's going to be extremely important because hitters are all about timing. And if they're just going to go right into the postseason and finally get his first at bat in the postseason, going against a number 1 guy like a CC Sabathia, it's going to be very difficult to be able to get his swing back. He's going to want to see some live pitching, not from the cages, not from batting practice or hitting off the tee. He wants to see some live pitching before the end of the season.
This one sharply hit the short. Andrus has got it. Torres retired for the first out. Abreu remains at second base. 1 out, man in scoring position now for Mike Napoli. Napoli with a base hit, a walk, a strikeout, a pop-up. He is 1 for 3. Long ago, Derek Holland and Jared Weaver were battling it out in this game. Holland going 3 2/3, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits. Weaver pitching into the 7th, giving up 3 runs on 9 hits. Jared looking for his 13th victory. Napoli takes down and in for ball 1. Stick around after the game. Angels Live post-game edition. Cool Breeze, Michael Leaves, and Jose Mota in the house. Napoli swings through the off speed, 1-1.
You have Michael Lees in the house at the rock pile with Jose.
Probably already out there getting ready.
Pretty cool out there. Perfect spot for Michael Lees.
Napoli takes below, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Look at him. He's working, ready to go. Oh, yeah. Look, jot down some notes. Official. It's a good thing you don't have an IFB in. 2-1. There's your strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's ready.
Look at that. Studious as always. 2-2. Upstairs, full count. Napoli chops this one as short. Andrus has got it. So Reggie Willis will step up for his first plate appearance. He pinch ran for Juan Rivera. So Reggie now the designated hitter. 262 on the year with 8 runs batted in. That's down low, and it's 1 ball, no strikes.
Interesting the way they have the outfield set up against Reggie Willis, batting from the right side here. Way off the left field line. David Murphy is. And Cruz playing almost on the line in right field. And pretty shallow.
The Angels have Fernando Rodney warming in the pen. He'd be coming on in the 9th inning as Willis swings through the off-speed pitch. Bobby Casva also loosening. That it would be, I would imagine, if Willits gets this run home, non-safe situation, Bobby would come on. Texas in the 9th inning. Murphy, Guerrero, Cruz. On the corner, 1-2. Reggie doesn't like the call. Willits out towards center. Bourbon is right there. He'll make the catch. That will end the inning. 8 in the books. We're heading to the 9th. Halos trying to take game 1 of this 3-game series. Murphy, Guerrero, and Cruz to face Fernando Rodney when we return. And Nelson Cruz, it's been a struggle for Fernando here of late.
Well, he's 6th or 7th game in the year, 4-2 mark, ERA 4.21. The reality is that command of his fastball, that sets up his changeup. He doesn't have to overthrow that fastball because the velocity is there. When he tries to throw it too hard, that's when it's elevated and out of the zone, and it makes that changeup ineffective.
He takes over for Francisco Rodriguez, who went 1 inning. Gave up a run on 2 hits, including that home run to Chris Davis. David Murphy, 4 for 4, 3 singles, a double, and a run scored. Looks at a fastball for a strike. The 0-1 pitch, a strike on the outside corner, no balls, 2 strikes. Fernando pitched in that game on Saturday, which he gave up that run in the 9th inning. Tied things up. Rays eventually won it in the 10th. Fernando gave up a run on 3 hits, striking out 1. 0-2 pitch upstairs. It is 1-2. Halos had Jordan Walden come in with 2 outs in the 9th yesterday. Pick up his first major league save. That pitch is outside. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That looked like a pretty good pitch. Full count.
Away from 0-2 now to 3-2. Let's go right after him the fastball.
Just below the box tracks. Chopper over to third. France is going to have to hurry. And it's an infield base hit for David Murphy. At a 5-hit game.
Tell you what, Murphy's got to be smiling today. There's a lot of base hits off the end of the bat. 2nd career 5-hit game for him. Last time back August 22nd in 07 against the Orioles.
That may have been that 30-3 game. Guerrero takes a strike. Vladdy 2 for 4 with a couple of singles, a couple of fly balls to left. Chops this one over to third. Francis will throw on to first base. Guerrero is retired for round number 1 as Murphy advances to second.
He was hit a little bit too slow, and Murphy runs pretty well. No reason to take a chance. You're trying to get outs here in the 9th.
So Nelson Cruz will step in now with 1 out and a man in scoring position. So 13 hits for Texas, 11 for the Angels. Cruz takes a fastball for a strike. Nelson 1 for 3. RBI single in the 4th inning. Drew a walk with the bases loaded. So 2 RBI game, now giving up 75 on the year. Swings through that fastball there. 98 miles an hour, 2-2.
Wait. You can see the velocity Fernando Rodney can generate when he stays within his pitching mechanics. Doesn't have to try to overthrow that pitch. When he does, he has a tendency to tip exactly what pitch he's going to throw.
0-2 got him. 3 straight fastballs. Down goes Cruz. 2 outs.
Right after it, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Right on top of that pitch. Good chance to hit a spot in the strike zone and gets it by Cruz for a strikeout.
So 2 outs. Ian Kinsler at the plate. Murphy with the lead at second. Inside with the fastball, 1-0. I will say this about Jim Reynolds, the home plate umpire tonight. Tight strike zone, but a tight strike zone for both sides.
Yeah, there wasn't anything wavering either way. He's calling the exact pitch to at the first inning here to the 9th inning.
1-1. The one, if I remember correctly, there was one pitch that kind of stood out. That one to Torrey Hunter. On a 3-1 count, I believe it was. It ended up drawing a walk.
Yeah, by Derek Holland.
Yep, by Derek Holland. That was back in the 3rd inning.
That's what Trainer kind of reached back, but it definitely caught the plate.
That's the only one. Outside of that, is questionable. Went the Angels' way against Texas. One-two count. The 2 outs. Halos trying to take game 1 here against Texas. Inside, going with the off-speed pitch. 2-2. Rodney's 2-2. That hit Kinsler. Look like got him on the left shoulder area. Ian's a guy, because he is close to the plate, is susceptible to getting hit, and gets hit quite a bit.
Yeah, he doesn't give in to that outside part of the plate, so he's looking out over the plate. Doesn't give in, doesn't move, will get hit.
It's 5th time this year that he's been hit by a pitch. I may have actually got him on the tricep there. Just shy of the shoulder. So 2 on now and 2 outs, and here's Mitch Moreland. This after getting ahead of Ian Kinsler with 2 strikes. Changeup is in for a strike. Moreland is 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts, fly ball to center field, a walk. Murphy at second, Kinsler at first. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Moreland checked his swing. He went around, says Jim Reynolds. Light that baby up. The Halos take game 1 of this 3-game set by the final of 7-4.
Boy, and Jared Weaver gets some run support today. Wins his 13th game. Not necessarily his best stuff, but he battled his way through to get a victory. And good approaches at the plate today for Angel hitters. Brandon Wood going up the middle. Howie Kendrick. A number of guys going, trusting their hands and allowing that ball to get deep in the strike zone and hitting the ball up the middle. Jeff Mathis hit the ball very well the other way. Torrey Hunter, a big base hit, drove in 2. Bobby Abreu got that ground roll double and another hit in this ball game. So 11 hits, 7 runs against the Rangers. Win a game, pick up a game in the standings. Above all, just played some good baseball. Solid defensively, too.
Well, you mentioned Jared Weaver picking up his 13th win. Now 13-11 pitching into the 7th inning. Derek Holland takes the loss. He drops to 3-4. Fernando Rodney picks up his 12th save of the year. Texas with 13 hits. They stranded 12 base runners. The Angels on the heels of the 9-hit game that they had yesterday against the Tampa Bay Rays back to double digits in hits with 11. They stranded 10. Juan Rivera, the lone starter for the Halos, to not pick up a base.